So, this will be the first round of the Milton Keynes Premier Challenge that I attended last weekend. Finally able to bring back tournament matches to the channel. Excellent. I did have the 3 with Vigoroth, but I didn't end up cutting that after a round of Swiss round of 4, so I didn't put up all the matches for that. Just put up the Vigoroth ones I actually bought Vigoroth to. So go and check that out. Go and check out the final match of the Vigoroth one. It was an amazing match, and Vigoroth did so much. But I'm back with a somewhat legit team. I'm actually using my Wakefield regional winning team in this tournament. Well, the same 6, not the exact same team. I couldn't bring the same team. At this point in the meta, it would be so bad. So I needed to adjust for the meta. And basically what I did was I turned the 4 that match Wolf's for his Ryoga team, the Gengar, Raichu, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. I basically just changed that to what he used. So I did use an Assault Vest Raichu in this with Endeavour. I did use a Sash for Rayquaza instead of the Life Orb one I did have originally. I changed to Origin Pulse over Scald on Kyogre, even though I hate Origin Pulse, but there you go. And normal Gengar turned into Mega Gengar. So I also had Togetic and Scizor. Scizor was originally a Swords Dance Lumberry one, now it's a Life Orb, Superpower, and secret move that you'll see in this match, with Bullet Punch as well. So I'm going to get right into it. And immediately I was facing a Dialga, which, if this was the original version of the team, I would have just lost straight away. The original team had nothing super effective against Dialga, and the only thing that could really hit it for neutral was a Rayquaza Overheat and a Kyogre Ice Beam. But I've changed the team, so I can actually beat Dialgas this time. So I'm leading off with my Kyogre and my Gengar, which is actually a Mega 1, and thankfully it didn't just have Sludge Bomb and Icy Wind. I would have been able to hit the Salamence, but I wouldn't have been able to hit the Dialga. So the Dialga is the threat. I need to take that out. So what I'm expecting here is for him to go for Trick Room, because either way, I would assume that he would expect there was exactly the same 6 from the regional. So he would probably expect an Icy Wind on his Salamence, which would let him underspeed my Pokemon so that in Trick Room he would outspeed them, or he would go for Trick Room, I would Ice Beam KO his Salamence, and he would get a free switch into Groudon with Trick Room up. So I was definitely expecting Trick Room from him, which is actually kind of what I wanted, because he had a Groudon as well as the Dialga. So I'm going to protect, because I am expecting Double Edge. Double Edge makes the most sense from the Salamence, because then it will put it in Precipice Blade's range if it gets knocked out. And I do have Shadow Ball on this Gengar, so I can chip the Dialga. It isn't almost certainly a 3-hit KO, but he does Double Edge into Kyogre, which is really nice. This is actually the position I wanted, because I wanted Trick Room up. I'm pretty certain I can survive a Dragon Pulse. If it would have been Draco, that would have been a little bit different, but with Dragon Pulse, I definitely survive. I underspeed the Salamence because I didn't Icy Wind it, and I can KO it because of the Shadow Tag. He couldn't switch out into his Groudon and the Salamence. If it could have only protected, but if it did, then I would just KO it with Ice Beam next turn. Shadow Ball again onto his Dialga. It does look like a 3-hit from here, and he doesn't have a Citrus Berry, which is really nice. So now he gets the switch into Groudon. But I've already seen how I can beat it in a couple of turns, and it's going to be very stylish. So he's going to get up the sun. He can't switch. I can, so I'm going to be switching out my Kyogre because I'm going to want my Rain, and I want to sack my Gengar here. Because I want the free switch into Scizor, because Scizor is going to be what I use to beat this Groudon. So I'm going to switch out into Rayquaza. Because another thing that I was thinking, because I wanted to do it this way, because he's going to Dragon Pulse my Gengar in case I went into the Rayquaza, and he would probably still be expecting Life Orb Rayquaza, so he would knock it out. That was my thinking. So I switched in the Rayquaza on the other one, because he was going to Precipice Blades as well, which he does, or Eruption, and if he did, that wouldn't have done so much. So Scizor is in now. And this is the best part. I'm so glad I put this on the Scizor. So I'm going to switch my Rayquaza back out into my Kyogre. My Scizor is Brave, so it guarantees underspeeds both Dialga and Groudon. And he's going to protect his Dialga, which is even better for me, because I'm going for the Technician boosted Hidden Power Water onto the Groudon. It would have been so much more hype if this actually KO'd. So that Hidden Power Water KOs Groudons that are built to survive Timid Earth Power. He was clearly built to survive Modest Earth Power. But that, it would have been so much more hype, but it actually just pretty much wins me the match. I also Superpower the Dialga, which is nice. I could have Hidden Power Water the Groudon again and Ice Beam the Dialga. It didn't really make a difference at this point because I had one, because I'd put his Groudon in Ice Beam range and Trick Room was up this turn. So I had actually definitely won at this point just because of the Hidden Power Water. But here we go. It would have been nicer to just knock it out in one, but I did pull off the Hidden Power Water Scizor, which is really nice. I do go for Water Spout, and it will knock out the Groudon from there in the rain. And I hadn't actually seen his last Pokemon, but a combination of Rayquaza and Kyogre does beat it. So I was fine going for the superpower and pretty much just sacking off my Scizor. It did its job. It turns out it's crafty. So I have definitely won. Even with an intimidated Rayquaza, I can't lose this if I just Dragon's Ascent and Wolf Spout forever. So he's going to fake out my Rayquaza, I believe, and I did show the Life Orb on Scizor. So what I do with the Rayquaza doesn't really make that much sense, considering I already show the Life Orb. Really, I should just Dragon Ascent and knock him out, but I wanted to conceal information, even though the only information I would have been able to conceal was either I am possibly Assault Vest or I'm not Life Orb, and Life Orb had already gone, so I shouldn't have protected here because that showed that I was definitely not Assault Vest. They did try and knock off into my Rayquaza to try and reveal the item. If I Dragon Ascented, it didn't make a difference. But I do manage to knock out this Crafty with the Wolf Spout after just the failed protects because I was still concealing information, even though I wasn't. But there we go. Hidden Power Water Scizor. That was perfect. I'm so pleased I pulled that off. And it just made putting it on all worthwhile. I didn't use Hidden Power Water, I don't think, a single other time in the tournament. Just that one time. And it just won me the match straight up. So that was awesome. And I managed to beat Dialga with this team. I did tech for it. I did have Superpower on my Scizor. And I did have Shadow Ball that could hit the Dialga with my Gengar. So that was an awesome first round. So moving on to round 2.